Hey guys, welcome back to Altaz-Review, where we talk about the latest developments in the gaming realm. Recently, we just got some new free content for GoW Ragnarok, and it's time to talk about what this DLC has done for the game, the fans, and for the franchise itself. I'll try to keep spoilers to a minimum, so let's get into it. GoW Ragnarok was a fantastic game that won several Game of the Year awards in its year. Even though it's a continuation of another series, GoW Ragnarok has garnered a lot of fame and respect for its own achievements rather than using its IP for credit. There were a lot of references and Easter eggs throughout the game, but it never leaned on the original series to be called a good experience. But with this DLC, after the events of Ragnarok and at the end of the father-son adventure of Kratos and Atreus, we get to put all the focus back on Kratos. And now the DLC wants to acknowledge everything about his past, whether he likes it or not. In a way, the Valhalla DLC uses a blend of characters and ideas from the modern game as tools to talk about the original game in a natural way. Mimir once again acts as a narrator, but being an outside spectator basically puts him in the place of most fans. Having Mimir talk to Kratos is kind of like allowing fans to voice their opinions and suggestions, and allowing us to hear a response to our questions. It was pretty much the same thing in the main game when we're roaming around and Mimir asks all the questions fans have had throughout the years. Then we have Kratos, who walks through his past and comments on how he reflects on it and how he feels about it. He basically gives a voice to himself from the younger days. In the original games, we didn't see the inner thoughts of Kratos, only the outward emotions. And even when he expressed his emotions, the action-packed game and violent character of Kratos back then didn't allow us to see the personal struggles of Kratos as a character. That may have not mattered back then, but it does make a difference to the development of modern-day Kratos. The fact that Kratos has made some divisive decisions can't be ignored, and it's time for Kratos to really talk about it. Even Valhalla itself provides a reasonable setup to see and experience all these moments while staying close to the lore. Since they're using something as well known as Valhalla as a DLC, it can only mean that they planned this way in advance. The developers also took a new direction for the gameplay. Rather than make a small linear area which no one would remember, they took advantage of their RPG-style mechanics and took it one step further: roguelike dungeons. By creating a few smaller, interesting locations that reference areas from the main game, the player keeps entering these areas at random while fighting a handful of enemies who keep getting stronger. And rather than spend time mindlessly leveling up, this is a new way to keep things interesting and different. Now all your perks and stats have to be bought or found. You'll either find perks, abilities, or currency from each room you clear, or you come back to the main hub after dying or after important events, where you can spend currency to level up stats and buy permanent upgrades to make future runs a little bit easier. The fighting is already fun, but the roguelike action allows you to use new builds and use different playstyles every time you enter the arena again. You have to commit to one shield and one type of rage for the whole run, while choosing perks and abilities that suit your build and playstyle for that one run. The main reason to go through the whole roguelike progression isn't just for a big challenge. The story keeps unfolding after you make a certain amount of progress, so whether you're here for the story or just trying to beat a tough challenge, neither of those things will be too boring to stop you from getting to the end. There's a lot of surprises and some great callbacks. A few spoilers here, but I was pretty shocked to see Helios back and totally interacting with Kratos in a new game. It feels strange to see so many things from the old game animated into the new one. Even enemies like the Cyclops and the Sirens are a great addition, with some fun death animations. A surprising moment was seeing Greece again, and being able to roam around in such a different environment after so much Norse mythology and Norse background. Big spoilers here, but my favorite moment of the game is when you're prompted to use Rage, and Kratos just brings out the Sword of Olympus to destroy everything. I stood there with my jaw open for a good minute when that happened. Even after all the fun of running through some tough gauntlets, some great callbacks, and more content for a great game, the main point of this DLC was to bring together the old Kratos and the new Kratos. Seeing him accept and understand what he's done and why he's done it is a great message for players and adds a great deal to his story. Kratos has never been a simple character, so the resolution of his past and present won't be simple either, and now his future can't be expected to be any simpler going forward. Character building is one of the strongest points of this game, and this fairly short DLC was able to deliver on all cylinders. Good challenge, good gameplay, and once again, great storytelling. We weren't expecting DLC, but it ended up being a must-play for the series. Well, that's my view on the GoW Ragnarok Valhalla DLC. It's been a while since we saw some high-quality work, but it's great to see another masterpiece right before the new year starts. I'm not generally a fan of roguelikes, but God of War is easy enough to get into, so I still had a lot of fun. I don't want to push it, but I'm looking forward to more God of War content, whatever that turns out to be. Let me know what you guys think about the DLC and about the future of God of War. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Until then, I hope I see you in the next video.